Yeah, so if you have seen my previous streams, you know that I've been working on this web framework, primarily on the dependency injection system of that web framework, which started my whole quest of making a web framework. Basically, I was messing around with Fast API. I was building a project with Fast API, and I got curious about how the dependency injection system works. And then one thing led to another, and now I have a dependency injection system which works. I'll soon test it with like my backend that I have been building for my final year project. But now is not the time because it's night and I'm tired. So I figured I just do some light coding and think about what I'm going to do next. Since Fast API is also built on top of Starlit, I thought I would explore this a little bit and just do a little bit of lightweight coding. Yeah. And I thought I'd stream it. So that's what's going on. I'll do an explainer video soon for the DI system and the details about it, but now is not the time. So yeah. Okay. Mm, let me show you something. I think it's in Scrap. Yeah. For testing against my DI system against Fast API, this is the thing that I was using till now. So basically, you have like you're inheriting from Fast API. You're overriding the get method, the post method, and stuff. Just a second. Yeah, and basically what you're doing is you're the get is returning a function that decorates the route handler, and what the function does is the following. The first thing it does, it resolves all dependencies of the given route handler, and with this new function, this new route handler where the dependencies resolved is then given to the function that was supposed the function from Fast API that was supposed to decorate the route handler. So now the Fast API route handler won't be getting a function without dependencies resolved. It would be getting a function with its dependencies already resolved, and then it would decorate it, and then we would just return it. So that's my way of like testing my DI system within the scope of the within the whole Fast API framework without going into the virtual environment and changing the source code of Fast API, because I didn't want to do that. I wanted a clean way of um, having my DI framework work, DI stuff work with Fast API until I get to the point that I'm building my own stuff without needing Fast API. And for that, I'm going to be looking at Starlet today and just get a feel of it. I won't be using my brain a lot. This is a lightweight session. And yeah, so instead of Fast API, I will be using Starlet here, just like Fast API uses Starlet. I Let me show it to you. Uh, you need Docker files. Close it. I think this is it. Yeah. Ah, the environment is not activated. I think it's something like this. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Backend VN scripts, I guess. And scripts you have like Python. Hopefully it's this. And now jump to definition should work. Yeah, it's working. Yeah, so Fast API is inheriting from Starlet and it's giving us a lot of cool utilities like get, force, etc. And DI, the DI system, of course, which we have built our own, and that's pretty cool. Like, I'm really happy that we finished building the DI system. Of course, I will be testing the DI system against the backend that I'm working on, the fast API backend I'm working on. So that would be, and I will also be testing the DI system against uh, fast API's test for DI, which are in their repository. I don't know where it is. Yeah, somewhere here. And so what we'll be doing is we'll be taking tests from here, and the we'll be specifically we'll be taking the DI tests from here, and we'll be running them for our DI system, and we'll be testing that. And also as a third test, I would be the first test are my own unit tests that I was using while developing. The second are the fast API tests, and the third test for my DI system is the fast API. Sorry, the application that I was a real world application that was I was building using um, fast API, and I'll be using that to replace like lots of stuff. Like I have a dependency like get current user, get db cursor, and these will be handled by my, and I'll be seeing whether everything works correctly or not with my stuff. Yeah, I can't open source this because I probably have to sell this app, so else I would have. It's a really cool backend. Basically, they take interviews and they score that stuff using LLMs, and yeah, it was fun making this. But anyways, uh, so that's the context for this video. Now we'll be looking at a little bit of Starlet. Maybe I'll be running some snippets, and yeah. So what is Starlet? Starlet is a lightweight ASGI framework. As far as I know, ASGI is Python standard of handling asynchronous requests and responses, on top of which different web frameworks are built asynchronous. It's like WSGI. WSGI is also a common interface on top of which different frameworks are built. I think Django and Flask are built on top of WSGI, and they added ASGI support later. I'm not sure. I'm not that familiar with these things, these terms, WSGI and ASGI, but we'll look at it, and as I continue development, it will be easier. These things will get clearer and clearer. So yeah, uh, low complexity. Okay, WebSocket support in process background tasks. So in the same process, you have background tasks. It's probably using threading, and I think this is Starlet is pre 3.14 era, so there won't be like um, unlocking taking away the GIL lock or something. Yeah, I think even I haven't tried it, but I think the GIL lock is something that you can't. It isn't disabled by default. You have to manually recompile Python for that. So even in 3.14, I don't think web frameworks will be shipping with the GIL unlocked. So anyway, the point is that there will be switching between the background task thread and the main thread of the app. Anyways, so for heavy background tasks, you should have a separate process and a message broker. So use Celery and RabbitMQ, I guess. Yeah. Okay. In process background tasks, I deviate a lot in. I'm deviating a lot. Maybe I should stop speaking. Yeah. I just turn it on. I'm being slow anyways. Test client built on top of HTTPX. This is pretty cool. I have been I wanted to like make test clients for my web application that I was working on, but I haven't got around to doing that yet. But anyways, maybe I should stop the stream and start that. Maybe test client doing some serious work instead of hobby projects. Cause gzip static file streaming responses. Um. Okay. Okay. Isn't streaming a default part of I think the HTTP, the latest HTTP protocol, whatever is the latest. Let's just leave it. Let's just leave it. It's not our goal right now. Session cookie support, test coverage. Okay. Type annotated code base. Type annotated code base. Okay. Few hard dependencies compatible with async IO and trio backends. Get all performance with against independent check benchmarks. Blah 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 blah. You pip install starlet. You pip install uvcon. And from starlet.applications import starlet, and you have responses, JSON response and stuff. To understand it better, let's just make a CRUD app. Let's just make a CRUD app. Yeah, maybe in learn, select folder, and I have this. What's this, man? Ah, let's just delete this guy. And yeah, I will be deviating because I'm not like getting paid to finish my web framework in the smallest possible time. So maybe I'll take my time and like look at this library in detail. Okay, so you have Starlet just like you had Fast API. You're going to register your routes in the constructor. You can't add routes. Maybe you can add routes. Let's see whether we can add routes. Um, ah, I need an interpreter. Uh, uh, okay, so we need a virtual environment, and hurry up, bro. The voice is on. Oh, thank God. Uh, let's just do it like this in this manner. I think it's this guy, and now we should be. I need PowerShell. How to change the default interpreter in ah, yeah. No. Let's just try like terminal. I didn't need to search. It was easy. Okay. Pip install. What do I want? Starlet, uvcon. And what is uvcon? ASGI server? So what is the difference between? So what is the difference between ASGI frameworks and ASGI servers. Okay, let's just ignore this UVCon thing. For now, just like Fast API, we will be building on top of Starlet. If need be, and with time, we can like pop open the hood of Starlet and see whether it needs UVCon or not, or what the hell is going on under the hood of Starlet. And hopefully, in the end, we'll be like running on top of our own asynchronous framework, not even async IO in Python, and my framework will be built on top of that. Like this is the library for which I will be making like Python bindings. Hopefully, I haven't figured out how to do that yet, but on top of this guy, there will be hopefully Python bindings for this library, and on top of that, I'll be building like my ASGI framework, ASGI stuff framework, I guess. Yeah, ASGI server. On top of that, I'll be building my yeah this the web framework that I'm working on. Like that will be using my own implementation instead of this Starlet and UVCon stuff. That is the goal if I don't get detracted and start another project. Um, oh no, we don't need UVCon. Okay, let's see what UVCon does. ASGI web server implementation, web server for async frameworks, ASGI specifications, and UVCon currently supports HTTP 1.1 and WebSocket. Okay, and yeah, and you have scope receive send and okay. I think what this is saying is whatever request you send, you're going to get this header and this body. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And what this Starlet doing? You have this is kind of similar to Fast API. Yeah. Okay. Let's just run this guy. Right, let's just run it. Oh, where is this guy running? Localhost colon 8000. Oh, let's just leave this as is. So you got hello world. Okay, okay, we're working, and I guess what this route object do? It has methods, path stir, endpoint. I think this is a callable goes to any a callable that takes any amount of arguments and returns any, and you have methods. Okay, so you have methods equal post and what a page. And let's see whether synchronous functions are working. Request, return. What is happening? Let's just see what happens. Okay, it's working. And what is the route? Okay, it's we have to send a post request and let's send it. Okay, that's how it works. And yeah, then you have dependencies. It only requires any IO and blah 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 blah. If you want to use test client, Jinga templates, request support form passing. And yeah, so it really is like itself a complete web framework, and Fast API just offers a lot more conveniences on top of this guy. Okay, so it can also be used as an ASGI framework. This syntax is very similar to Ubicon, the Ubicon stuff that we just saw. You have a scope receive send, and you have a scope receive send. Actually, I want to try something out. Um, I actually want to end the stream. I don't want to code anymore, but anyways. What is this? Why do I always get this message? I don't want to sign into Copilot. Um, 11:33. I think yeah. So we are using like the ASGI part of Starlet in quite a few places in the Fast API repository. And I think it's worth checking these things out. Um, lib fast um, 11:33. So this is a callable. Who is being called right now? Fast API is being called. Yeah. So when the fast API object app is being called, then you call super. When is app called? Um, I don't think we call the app. Yeah, like you make the app, but you don't call it. But Anyways, let's ignore this one. Self-taught app async exit stack. Let's just ignore it. Then we have routing. I'm just, going completely in a random manner. Low energy stuff. Um, request response. Copy of starlit routing dot request response modified to include the dependencies async exit stack. Okay. You're including the exit stack, and what are you doing with the super? There should be some sort of uh, using the starlet dot routing dot request response. There should be some use of this guy. Okay, this is a copy of that guy. It doesn't use that guy. Okay, 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 okay. So what does this guy or this guy basically do? Let's see what happens. Takes a function or coroutine, okay, and returns an ASGI application, okay. So f is a callable which takes a request and returns an awaitable response. So basically this guy is a coroutine. And func if is async callable. Func, okay, I think this would be a pretty simple function, but we'll see. Or else functools.partial run in thread pool. Func, I don't know what this guy is for. Functools.partial. Um, very random stream. I am feeling like embarrassed because I'm not really accomplishing anything in this guy, this stream. Mm, roughly equivalent to. So I take a function, I give it to functools.partial. What will happen is partial, this guy will get called, and you will have slash, I don't remember what slash is. Okay, so positional only. So behind this guy you have positional only. I guess that was it. I need to documentation tutorial. Um, okay, so func cannot be passed as a keyword parameter. Okay. Um, um, Hmm. So you have a new function which will take more arguments and more keywords, and it will be more args, keywords, more keywords. Okay, okay, and dot args dot keywords equal keywords. Partial functional application which freezes some portion of a function's arguments and or keywords, resulting in new object with simplified signature. It can be partial can be used to create a callable that behaves like the int function when the base argument defaults to 2. So int comma base equal 2. Okay, now let's take a look at what was going on here. So run in thread pool takes what? A function comma some quarks, and the func part of it has been like fixed to the function. Okay, okay, and whenever I will call the result of this guy, the function will run in a thread pool. Okay, so Fast API has a thread pool for running these sort of things, and it has an event loop for running async callable. And is async callable is obviously starlet, and overload is async callable any and dot dot dot. I don't know what this stuff is really. I need a charger. I used this in the past week. Oh, no, 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 no. Wait a minute. Okay. Let's just go with what the name is and just move on. So we have an F and then we have an async def F which will be returned and await wrap app handling exceptions. So any exceptions that will be raised here will be handled in the enclosing function. Yeah, that's what I'm going to assume. I don't want to keep opening new things, but yeah. So you have an app which will be obviously called. You have an app, okay, and connection is a request object. Totally, and you got some exception handlers, status handlers, and you have a wrapped app which will be returned by the way लिखवा लो. Yeah, and guessing works, bro. Guessing works. And yes, scope receive send, which is the wrapped app, and yeah, note that we also had a app.call and it was using these guys. And okay, things are we are finding some patterns. Things will make sense with time, and they will obviously make more sense after if I come back after implementing my own stuff. Mm, where's my phone? Okay, yeah. And you have a wrapped app, and you await the app and you handle all the exceptions. If the exception is raised to the exception, you handle it like that, and blah 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 blah. Great. Okay. With the current status code, you try to see whether or not we had any status handler in our scope. Okay, so in scope we specify for our connection, for our request, in our scope we specify whether or not a different sort of exception handlers, and then when you get an exception while running the app with scope receive send, you try to see whether or not the if it is an HTTP exception, then obviously you will have some sort of exception handler in scopes for the given framework, and then you just get it with specifying the status code because this is a dictionary, and then you use it here and you await the handler if the handler is async. Otherwise, you run the handler in the thread pool for the synchronous tasks, and if the response is not none, you await a response. What was the response again? Okay, so response was this after the handler. Okay, okay, and then you okay. So response is also a callable, an async callable. Okay, so okay, the handler will return an appropriate response object which will be called and will send the custom response. Okay, very weird, but it makes sense now. Now let's come back. You handle the exceptions, and you have this app, and you have this exit stack, which you need Y stack. You put it in the inner async stack, and you I know why this stack is added. This stack is added because any dependencies that you will add to app, you will need to clean up when you are handling the exceptions, and you will get that stuff from the scope. Man, I'm getting smart. Okay. Um, because the exit stack contains all the stuff that uh, you all the dependencies stuff. Does it? Does it? I don't think so. Because as per my understanding and as per my implementation of the DI system, this exit stack is separate from the DI exit stack. Why am I confusing this? Okay, anyways. Uh, very, very sensible. Obviously, it won't be. Man, there is a lot of thought with comes in which goes into building stuff. Yeah, like reading the all, implementing the DI system myself first of all, and second of all, like reading this code like makes me really appreciate all the work that the engine and all the hours the engineers of that who built fast API have put into this. Like there is a lot of care and thinking that needs to be involved for handling such sort of stuff, and yeah, it's a lot of work. It's not impossible, which as I have shown, like even a dumb guy like me can build an that complete DI system, and but it does require a lot of, it does take a lot of time. Anyways, getting back after yet another detour, where were we? We were at request response. We somehow got here from, I think, routing 101. Yep. And I think we learned something, I guess. Routing 110, and let's just keep reading these things randomly. Uh, okay. I think we have already read like app handling exceptions thing, and it will obviously also be in the WebSocket thing. Yeah, it is also in the WebSocket thing. It's obvious. And yeah, I think that is it. We learned nothing. Uh, request response. I need to see where grep minus rn. Um, no, nope. Yes. Okay, we are using request response somewhere. We are using in API route. Getting a call. Some stuff I need to take care of, so I'm ending the stream. It was a good detour.